Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. With the Tavistock Clinic now completely discredited, with the potential of it being closed down, and with everyone knowing the true horrors of what went on within its doors, where children were sterilised on an industrial scale without even seeking psychiatric or psychoanalytical help first. The doctors whose obsession with this mass sterilisation of children have decided that the game is up and that they're probably not going to be allowed to continue their trade at this clinic. And so what are they to do? Well, they've set up a private clinic so that they can continue with their obsession of hacking bits off children. These people are little better than Joseph Mengele, and if you don't know who he is, I suggest you go Google him. It is truly horrific, but these people are no different. We're going to take a look at this article to see why they seem so hell-bent on permanently damaging children, ruining their futures, destroying their lives, simply to push an agenda. Here goes. So, staff from disgraced Tavistock Child Sex Change Clinic have set up a private practice because they are obsessed with doing this to children. They're obsessed with experimental surgery. They're obsessed with pumping these children full of hormones. Children at a very young age. Often, as I say, without any psychiatric evaluation. These children are sometimes depressed, sometimes confused, sometimes autistic. Sometimes they're just gay, but the parents don't want that. And they'd rather that they were trans rather than gay. This is what you're getting. You're getting transhausens by the parents, and nobody's assessing it. And so when they go take bits out, sterilise them, and the amount of children now, thousands of families, and I mean thousands of families, are preparing a class action against the NHS for the work done at this clinic that will cost the NHS billions in compensation. And the staff there are quitting to open up a private clinic so that they can continue doing this. They need to be struck off and then prosecuted and then jailed for the damage they've done to these children. But let's go in. Former staff at the disgraced Tavistock Gender Clinic in London, which is set to be shut down over child safeguarding concerns, have established a private practice so they can continue offering the contested medical interventions to children, because they have to get to the children. They have an obsession. I think a lot of them are absolutely obsessed with children. It seems to be the way that this is going. In the wake of the NHS's England's decision to shut down the Tavistock Centre and its gender identity service, former staff members have opened up a private clinic named Gender Plus. Because of course they have. They have this, I think it's almost a fetish of doing this to children. Experimental surgery, pumping these kids full of things because they just get off on it, I think. I'm pretty sure that's where they're at. According to a report from the Telegraph, Gender Plus is currently offering specialist gender assessment for children, adolescent and young adults that can be used as an onward referral to an appropriate endocrine or surgical team. The private clinic said that such a service will comprise around 6 sessions with a child, mostly held over Zoom. So you're not even meeting the child, interacting with the child, reading the body language, reading the signs. You're basically going online. Do you want this? Yes. That's fine. Referral. Off with the ghoulies. And you tell me that this is in any way safeguarding children. You are sterilising children on a massive scale for your own, I think, sexual gratification. I think it's as bad as that. I think they're doing it through their own sexual gratification. These people are no better than those in the camps during the Second World War. The likes of Mengele, the likes of his team. They would operate on twins. They would examine 2 twins. And then he would do an autopsy on one of them. He wouldn't go to the trouble of, euthanizing the child. The child would be alive and he'd just start autopsying him in front of his other twin. And then he'd walk in, blood-stained hands everywhere. That was Mengele. These people, they're no different. They are no different what they're doing. Gender Plus is also said to be establishing an associated hormone clinic run by another former member of Tavistock by the autumn to provide life-altering medications to children above the age of 16. So 16 and 17-year-olds, effectively. Whereas opposed to pushing it in on children as young as 9, which is the youngest one on record that the Tavistock gave these this medication, this gender medication to, 9-year-old. How can a 9-year-old possibly know? How? And if that then is then as a result of the parents allowing it, that child, as it grows up, can then sue both the clinic and the parents. There is no safeguarding here. The law needs to be clear. The Tavistock Centre, which opened in 1999, is set to be completely shut down by spring of next year. It should have been shut down last year, but they gave it an extension to this year, and then they've given it another extension. Because you know what? They haven't sterilised enough children yet. They haven't done enough so that they can go home and furiously masturbate to the thought of what they are doing to children. Anyway, it said they've treated, as the word they used, treated 19,000 children for allegedly having gender dysphoria, which is an incredibly rare psychological condition, like 1 in a million. They should have treated maybe 56 to 60 children. They've treated 19,000, many of whom now regret it and are suing. And it is absolutely astounding. Anyway, over 1,000 families are reported to be launching a legal action against the clinic for misdiagnosing their children. It's nearer 2,000 now. It's growing all the time. One such former patient, a woman who had her breast removed as a teenager after being referred to the Tavistock Centre, says she feels like a mutilated experiment gone wrong. That's because you effectively are a mutilated experiment gone wrong. These people don't know what they're doing. They're just doing this for kicks. Speaking in the upcoming documentary The Clinic, Jasmine said that Gender Identity Development Service put her on a course of cross-sex hormones after only 2 45-minute sessions with clinicians. Now, not with experts. Who went also to put her on a waiting list for the mastectomy. She claims that the medical practitioners ignored signs she was merely a troubled child, having previously committed self-harm as a result of her gender confusion. Jasmine, who has since detransitioned, said, according to the Times, "I think it was a mistake I made because I was a child, and I think that part of the onus is on the various professionals that treated me." Oh, they're not professionals. Professionals would never have done what they've done. These people are monsters. She thought, once I'd got the top surgery, all my problems would be gone. I'd finally be happy. I'd finally be who I was supposed to be. And when I did get it, I was very disappointed because I felt exactly the same. Because it's not helped me. It's not fixed me inside. No, because your problem isn't biological. Your problem isn't physiological. Your problem is entirely mental. Once that's established and recognised, then you can close down every single gender clinic, because nothing you do can change what's in your mind. She said, in fact, it just made things a lot worse. I kind of feel a bit mutilated experiment gone wrong, walking through society sometimes. Sterilised, your life ruined, gone completely. The Association of Clinical Psychologists said in October that the decision to shut down the Tavistock Centre was precipitated by a number of systemic failures, such as having an approach that was predominantly affirmative rather than exploratory. Yeah, every child that walked in was automatically assigned this and then examined. Not examined and then assigned. And that was the problem they have. Last month, the NHS also announced it would no longer routinely prescribe hormone-altering medication to children, given the mounting concerns about their usage. However, without intervention from the government to outright ban the use, it is possible for them to still be used in private practices such as Gender Plus, which is why Gender Plus are doing it, because they know they can't do it in the NHS, but hey, if they go private, they can continue to lick their lips, rub their hands and dribble as every child walks in towards them, because these people are avaricious, slimy monsters. And I'm stopping there and I'm coming up. We need to call these people out every single time. We need to highlight what they are doing every single time. We need everyone to know exactly what these people are and how dangerous they are, and how particularly dangerous they are to children, because they're not just altering a body, they're destroying a mind, they're destroying a future, they are utterly devastating an individual to push an agenda, to push an ideological belief. They're pushed on from behind by the likes of Stonewall and all the other mentally ill people that think that this is acceptable. Anyone who does this to a child absolutely needs to be prosecuted for what it is, which is child abuse of the very worst kind. These people are not doctors, these people are not medics. They are monsters in white coats, and as I say, they are no different from the likes of Mengele. They're experimenting, they don't know the results, they don't care about the outcomes. All they want is children through the door so they can make money and that they can push this sick, degenerate, ideological dream of their wet dream, really, isn't it, of theirs? And it needs to be stopped, and we are the only ones who can stop it by constantly demanding it stopped, by constantly highlighting it, by showing everybody the truth. And I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, guard your children and tell them the truth. They're never in the wrong body. Ever. They just have mental issues. Goodbye.